Hello, this is Houston Bennett with Week 1 Mobile User Experience, term 1401, our competitive analysis video. The two apps that I did are called Bright Nest and Home Maintenance List. Um, that's that kind of explains what they both do. It's just kind of apps for keeping track of things to do around the house, gutters and whatnot. So we'll start with brightness and the visibility of the app status. For brightness, every page that you're looking at was clearly titled, so you knew where you were within the app. Toggle buttons changed and things so that you know whether it's on or off. With home maintenance list, everything's very, very basic. It's all kind of the default controls and things. Um, it would have been better if there was some sort of prompting to kind of push the user into the right direction. But whatever. That moves us on to the match between the app and the real world. Uh, when first setting up Bright Nest, it asks for your zip code, and I believe that's to provide you with more localized articles, things that kind of make more sense for your area. And then when starting the home maintenance list, it asked for access to the contacts, and this is so that you can add, your plumber's number or your electrician or whatever directly into the list items. Onto user control and freedom, a back button is provided in Bright Nest when you're reading any particular article. There's kind of only 2 or 3 views, so you don't really need a whole lot of back and forth there. One thing though, there was no way of dismissing the keyboard after tapping into the search box without clicking on a different button that took you somewhere else within the app. Again, with home maintenance list, it's all the basic default controls and stuff. The appropriate back buttons, cancel, done, edit, the little edit circles, and the delete button. All that stuff shows up where they're supposed to. And for error prevention, Bright Nest, there was no confirmation when you tap the logout button. I feel that you could accidentally log yourself out, just with a slip of the finger. But other than that, there isn't a whole lot of input, so there's kind of no way. There's very little room for error. With home maintenance list, when you go to delete any item from of the list, it pops up a little box asking if that's okay. And when you are entering this kind of ties into one that comes up later. When you're entering a new item into the list, there's no format control. You can put letters into the phone number space, that kind of a deal. That's kind of an error prevention thing that should have been caught. Consistency and standards. Uh, Bright Nest rather. Their whole interface is custom, and all of but everything is very well put together and clean. The color scheme and everything is kept consistent throughout, and it works very well. Home maintenance list just uses all the basic Apple controls, so that's kind of straightforward and easy. It just works. Recognition rather than recall. This one didn't completely understand, but a menu button is provided. You just click the little button and the pane slides open with all the options that are available. It's pretty simple. You can filter, and there's a few other options within there. For a home maintenance list, there are no options really. There's no filtering or search or anything available. It's just a simple list. I would have liked it if the buttons were scaled better for the iPad, but flexibility and efficiency of use. There are options provided to narrow the different articles and stuff. When you first set the app up, it asks certain questions so that the program is already set up, customized for you. With home maintenance list, I wish there had been some preloaded items under each category. And when you go to enter a description in for a new item, it takes you to a whole other page, which slows everything down. You have to have more button presses and things like that. It's very awkward. For aesthetic and minimalist design, the app concept is really simple to begin with. Bright Nest has their own custom thing, and it looks great. They kept all the right colors and everything. All the buttons look well and put together. And the home maintenance list again just uses default controls, and so it all looks like it should. It's just like a default Apple program though. Let's see, helps users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. When you enter a wrong password, you get a little modal dialog that says so. You can click OK to make it go away and try again. When there are no search results, when you're searching for a particular article, there takes you to a page stating that with a button that takes you to the full list of all the articles. Home maintenance list had no any sort of error correction or format checking whatsoever. You could set dates for items in the past, the phone number and email address. You can put whatever you want. Kind of a little sloppy, I guess. Help and documentation. There was a step-by-step kind of a tutorial right at the beginning of opening Bright Nest, but once it's set up, I saw no other help functions. And with home maintenance list, there's no help provided anywhere. If there's no tutorial or anything, you're just jumped right into a list, and yeah, that's it. So one thing or the other, I liked different parts of each of these, though I think Bright Nest was the more professional app. And so for the mobile marketing article, I found one that was kind of a little more broadly talking about just success of an app in general and how that relates back to the user experience. And I wanted to mention just a couple of the ones that he says here. Mentioned earlier, I know earlier in the program, was that the app needs to focus on one thing, and it needs to do that one thing very well. He says it's very easy to go kind of overboard with different features and whatnot, and it's too much. It gets confusing. And the other part that I thought was kind of interesting was that your app, if when appropriate, needs alternative ways of notifying the user of information. Most apps, you need to open up the app in order to see anything that's new. And so he suggests that if appropriate, it's a good idea to try and use like push notifications or maybe email in order to let the user know. Just makes it a little easier for them to get the information they need from your app. And I kind of thought that one was a little interesting. So that's it for this video, and I hope you guys have a good week. Bye.